Welcome to yet another vlog from our TVS Travel Diaries brought to you by TVS Apache. In this vlog, we are not just traveling to a certain place. We're going on a journey of me facing one of my biggest weaknesses. I will be attempting to climb a huge rock along with one of the best climbers of the nation. This was a 4-day trip to Bimalnagar, a famous destination for rock climbing in Nepal. Together we learned a lot and shared an experience worth remembering for life. But to better understand our whole journey, let's first talk about the history of climbing in Nepal itself. Nepal has forever been a paradise for mountain climbers. With 8 of the 10 tallest mountains located in the Himalayan range, it lured many climbers from all around the world. It was only in May 1953 that Edmund Hillary, alongside with Tenzing Norgay, first successfully climbed Mount Everest. This created a huge buzz from Queen Elizabeth to all climbers around the world. Despite the effort and attention poured into expeditions, only 200 people had summited Everest by 1987. Everest remained a difficult climb for decades, even for serious climbers and large national expeditions. Until the commercial era, which began in the 90s, Nepal began to see mountain tourism as a way to collect serious amount of foreign revenues. Climbers started flooding in. Hundreds would try to climb Everest every season, among which a significant amount were Nepalese. One of them happened to be Pasang Lamu Sherpa. Born in a mountaineering family in Solukhumbu, she started her career when she was 15. After 3 failed attempts, she finally succeeded in climbing Mount Everest in April 22, 1993, on a bright and clear day. While descending from the summit, the weather, as often as it happens in the Himalayas, suddenly turned bad. She lost her life on the south summit, doing what she loved, at the age of 32. For achieving what no other Nepalese woman ever had, she was gracefully honored by the country and mountaineers all around the world. She became the first woman to be decorated with the Nepal Tara by His Majesty the King. A life-size statue at Baudha, postage stamps issued in her name, many different mountains and government halls named after her. But the biggest and the most meaningful trail her legacy left would happen to be the birthplace of a new generation of climbers, the Pasang Lamu climbing wall. This was the first sports climbing wall Nepal had ever seen. Mountaineers now had a proper place to train and meet, but the problem was its location, which was centric towards Baudha, where most mountain climbing Sherpas lived. But this was far away from the popular parts of Kathmandu. Sports climbing went on to the Nepali mass only after it entered the tourism hub of Nepal. This is Dawa Steven Sherpa. Born and raised in a climbing environment, he successfully scaled Mount Everest thrice, and he came on to entrepreneurship in his early life. His achievements includes his effort in running the world's highest bakery at Everest Base Camp and drawing attention to the climate change on the Himalayas. he opened a climbing wall of his own at the heart of Kathmandu, Asterisk Climbing Wall. This gave a climbing world a whole new scene. Now not only mountaineers were visiting the place, sports climbing enthusiasts gained much more accessibility, and events like Climbmandu brought in thousands of climbers together. People of all ages stepped in to learn, to exercise. This is where I met Saman Shrestha, a climbing instructor from Asterisk. He has been traveling to places just for climbing. As of my climbing history, I've been once to Pasang Lamu back in my school days. Miserably failed at it, and climbing always had me intimidated. A beer drinking overweight dude who can't do a single pull-up, that's me. But somehow this guy convinced me that I could train for a week and be able to climb a real rock. And so did my training begin. Alright, so we are at Asterisk today. This is also in Tamil, and this is one of the oldest climbing places. मलाई फर्स्ट टाइम गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ एकदमै हात दुख्यो. म राम्ररी बाइक चलाएर घर पनि जान सकेन अस्ति. एन्ड आज चाहिँ अझै बडी मेहनत गराउन लागिरहेछ समनले. He is already doing his tricks, so let's go.
Oh, bell bell. Oh, go, go, go. Nice. Damn, first time bell was कस्तो भयो तब?
Adiwan.
हात छोड्न त मिल्दैन ल.
All आगे.
Good workout.
आज लास्ट दिन दियो ट्रेनिङको. के छ ब्रो? सकिन्छ?
ए पप्पा ल अब यति भएपछि ढुक्क क्लाइम्बिङ रक क्लाइम्बिङ भनेको यही टेक्निक युज गर्ने हो तर ठाउँ मात्र फरक हो. त्यसपछि त ढुक्क रक क्लाइम्बिङ.
You sure? Alright.
100%.
अब सब जानियो?
अब
After a week of intense training, we are now finally ready to take on the challenge, heading out to Bimalnagar. Bimalnagar is going to be my first time, man. Let's go.
गइहालौँ अब.
Bimalnagar is about 140 kilometers from Kathmandu. If you're coming from Pokhara, it's only 60. Now this might look like your normal Nepali village you see on the highways, which is true. What makes this place special is this huge rock. This is a 55-meter high wall, perfect for climbers in every way, with over 15 different climbing routes fixed on different levels of difficulties. Before we go any further, here is a little info for you guys about rock climbing. When climbing rocks, bolts are essential to hook yourself onto. Climbing routes are carefully set by route setters. They drill bolts onto it, and once the route is set, others try to complete the route. When climbing, these bolts are absolutely essential to save yourself from falling. Reaching the top without falling once means you made a clear ascent. The harness, ropes and bolts, these make sure that even if you fall, you're absolutely safe. Bimalnagar has all sorts of routes. Short beginner levels, to long, exhilarating multi-pitch to almost impossible routes like Cobra and Karma. These are overhangs, where rock wall slopes beyond 90 degrees. These routes take years of practice and patience to climb, and new routes are always being drilled into the rocks. After being discovered in the early 2000s, climbers have been coming here and making new routes. The first people always go through the toughest times, but also get to experience things firsthand. Climbers are mostly backpackers, living wide, living free. A tent, climbing gears, food, and preferably some herbs. Bimalnagar wasn't advertised for a long time. Word spread slowly, and now it has the right amount of people coming in, staying at a place with a very familiar face. This is Susana Shrestha's home, a famous stunt biker. Her family owns this place right across the wall. You can get food and drinks here, but you will need to get your own tent to sleep. For climbers, that's just perfect. The rock is just on the roadside, but yet most people never notice it. Hell, even I have gone past this 100 times and I never noticed it.
This is my first time seeing the cliff right here in front of me. God, this is huge, right?
We are here with a group of familiar faces of the climbing world of Nepal. Former national champion Niraj, current women's champion Panchamaya, along with experienced climbers Rishi Chudal, Baniya, and of course Saman Shrestha. On the other hand, we have the team of Paradigm. Well, it's never late to start.
How are you, man?
Best of luck.
Good morning, man.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hello. Finally, हाम्रो दिन आयो.
त्यो तपाईले कसरी चढ्ने भनेर चाहिँ नि. सो त्यो बोल्टमा पिनहरु राख्छ. अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ रोप क्लिप गर्दै चढ्ने हो के.
ओके. त्यसले क्लाइम्ब गर्ने लुगामा आइसक्यो हो, फर्ममा आइसक्यो हो तिमी?
म त एकदम रेडी हो.
What are you climbing over त्यसको बारेमा?
So हामी चाहिँ अहिले बिमलनगरमा छौं. बिमलनगर चाहिँ नेपालको मोस्ट कन्सन्ट्रेटेड रक क्लाइम्बिङ प्लेस हो. यहाँ चाहिँ धेरै क्लाइम्बिङ गर्ने रुटहरु छ. So Cobra is one of the most iconic route and not so easy 7A+ टेक्निकल छ. अनि यो रुट चाहिँ 2013 मा टेन्डी शेर्पा ले बनाएको रुट हो. उहाँ चाहिँ माउन्टेन गाइड पनि हुनुहुन्छ. So today I'm going to try that route and it's going to be hard किनकि after long बिमलनगरमा आएर ट्राई गर्न लाग्छ. चढ्नुभन्दा अगाडि जहिले पनि रोप क्लिन गर्नुपर्छ के किनकि अब यो त तपाईको लाइफ हान्ने चिज हो नि त अनि ड्यामेज छ कि छैन. So after long time ट्राई गर्दैछु after a year, so a little bit anxious.
Climbing is as unpredictable as any other sport. One day you do things easy. The same thing is impossible to achieve on a different day. This is a route someone had climbed before, but it's not his day today.
आफूले अब ठ्याक्क मुभ मिलाइ भने चाहिँ सकिहाल्छ के. ठ्याक्क क्विक गर्नुपर्छ के.
यो ट्र्याकको कुनै यो
त्यसमा चाहिँ अब अड्केर बस्यो उतै भयो भने चाहिँ अलिक गाह्रो नै हुन्छ. त्यही भएर क्विक गरिहाल्नुपर्छ.
Pasina bhaya. So I need to work harder on this. Strength सब गइसकेको रहेछ.
फर्स्टमा क्लाइम्ब गरेको के फरक पर्थ्यो?
फर्स्टमा क्लाइम्ब गरे भए पनि so without training it guy, so it will take few more takes to finish this. Strength
भोलि गर्ने
भएपछि बेलुका पनि गरौँ अनि भोलि पनि गरौँ.
ओके हो पञ्चुले ट्राई गर्न लाग्यो पञ्चु ओके
Panchamaya happens to be one of the most gifted climbers Nepal has ever had. The 4-time women's champion, Panchamaya Taman. Now she is on a different level. As natural of a climber she is, Pancha dedicates a lot of time in training. People spend a whole lifetime trying to cleanly climb a route like the Cobra. She just dances her way up.
तिमीले त कुरा लग्यो अनि यो राखेर
मैले तपाईँले के भन्दा खुट्टा राखेर पनि सजिलो त्यहाँनिर दुईवटा पनि
काममै छैन है मैले त्यहाँ राखेर
ग्रुप भरि मेरो फेभरेट मान्छेसँग कुरा गर्न आउँछ मलाई एन्ड बाई द वे सी इज बिन उसको कम्पिटिसनमा फिमेल क्याटेगोरीमा चाहिँ there's been very less people किनकि उसलाई 4 वर्ष हो 4 years continuously she has won the first prize अनि उसको फर्स्ट टाइम कम्पिट गर्दा नि सी वान सो एकदम नेचुरल गिफ्टेड पनि छ अनि जस्ट दामी चढ्छ यु विल सी इट इन अ बिट क्लाइम्बिङ तिमीले गर्न थाल्यो अलिकति ल ठिक छ मजा आउनु थाल्यो अनि त्यसपछि गरे भएन तर अहिले आउँदाखेरि तिमीलाई वाइ डु थिङ्क तिमी किन क्लाइम्ब गर्छौ भनेर वाइ डु यु क्लाइम्ब
कज मलाई चाहिँ अब पछि गएर होइन लाइक धेरैजना फिमेलहरू पार्टिसिपेन्ट होस् क्लाइम्बिङ गरोस् भनेर त्यही भएर म चाहिँ अब गरिरहेको छु
क्लाइम्ब गरोस् भनेर इन्सपायर होस्
इन्सपायर होस् मबाट भनेर
That's very sweet, Panchamaya.
Another crazy climber that we are traveling with is Niraj climbing the rock star. He has been climbing for over a decade. He is now the manager of Astra Climbing Wall. The route he climbed was just too amazing. The name Rockstar simply lured me into giving it a go.
GoPro, turn off. Turn off, asshole. साला महँगो पनि छ
Nice. One, two, three. Push.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God, elephant.
Side ma. तो खुट्टा साइड मा राइट खुट्टा एक स्टेप माथि अझै माथि Oh, nice. हो अब
I was horrible climbing it. Being the first time climbing any rock route, I just couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do. I failed. And I failed. And I failed again. But I enjoyed the falls.
ट्राई गर्ने भने यस्तो छ के ब्रो मैले ट्राई गरिसकेँ यो पोसिबलै छैन
And there's more to these kind of travels than just climbing a rock. This was simply one of the most unique way of traveling I had ever done. Meeting people with very different way of looking at life. Just hanging out like kids, everyone with their own goals. Phones replaced with philosophy and Instagram stories, will they get replaced with real life stories? The second day,
It was raining all day, but it didn't disappoint any one of us. For once you're there, just talking about different things, or talking about the same thing with different people. The lifestyle these climbers were living fascinated me, made me envy about all the time we spend inside four walls when there are so many beautiful things the world has to offer. Something as stupid as climbing a rocky mountain for no reason.
The thing about climbing which separates it from other sports is that it is actually a journey. Like the route I was trying yesterday is a route that my friend Jason and I bolted in 2014. I have not climbed that route, but and no one, only Pemba, a Nepali climber, has till now. But for me, that climb is still with me, and I still haven't done it. And over 4 years, I've tried to get stronger. I've tried to get better. And this is not just in climbing, like this is overall. Again, it's different for everyone. And different routes will make you a different climber. Certain routes will test your patience. Certain routes will test your strength. Certain routes will test your ability to deal with heights and exposure. We have routes here, like Cobra for instance, is a route that has not been repeated many times, not because it is hard, but because it is very exposed. When you're up there, you can see, like the route is like this. So when you're on it, it is really scary to move from it. And that is something that climbers struggle with. It's not just about it being difficult, it is, but it's like that.
I started climbing, मैले climbing भिडियोजहरू हेरेर गरे हो त्यो हेर्दाखेरि एकदम अनौठो कुरा लाग्थ्यो त्यो अब आफूले सकिदैन अनि बिस्तारै चढ्न थाले त्यसपछि सकिन्छ भन्ने थाहा भयो अनि त्यसपछि सजिलो हुँदै गएपछि गाह्रो कुरा गर्दाखेरि पनि टुप्पाम पुगेसमा त थाहा हुन्छ कि अनि टुप्पाम पुग्दाखेरि यति मात्र होस् लाग्छ त्यसको लागि चाहिँ त्यो चाहिँ मेरो लागि सबभन्दा राम्रो कुरा क्लाइम्बिङको लागि गाह्रो कुरा यस्तो सजिलो पाराले हुन्छ कहिलेकाहीँ टुप्पाम पुगे थाहा हुँदैन क्लाइम्बिङ गर्न जाँदाखेरि रमाइलो भनेको कुरा जुन साथीहरू जुन पहिला बच्चैदेखि फिल हुन्छ नि एउटा साथीसँगको टाइम पास त्यो ख्यालठट्टाहरू अनि प्लस त्यही मान्छेसँग सँगै प्यासनेट भएर क्लाइम्ब गर्नु अनि एकै अर्कालाई हेल्प गर्नु त्यो कुराहरू चाहिँ एकदम राम्रो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ क्लाइम्बिङ पाएको कुरा चाहिँ एकचोटि क्लाइम्बिङ ट्रिपसँग गइसकेपछि त्यो मान्छेसँग रिलेसनै अर्को हुन्छ क्या एकदमै ट्रस्टवर्दी एकदमै बेस्ट फ्रेन्ड टाइपको जिग्री टाइपको हुन्छ क्या त्यो क्लाइम्बिङ चाहिँ एउटा अब लाइफस्टाइल हो मेरो लागि चाहिँ सायद अब नमरुन्जेलसम्म क्लाइम्बिङ चाहिँ बसि नै राख्छ
Finally, the day I climbed my route. This is Iman ko Samjanama, which translates to In Memory of Iman. Iman Gurung was one of the pioneers of mountain climbing.
Though he never became a mountain guide himself, he spent his years training a lot of young climbers, contributing a lot to the mountaineering scene in Nepal.
Iman lost his life in an unfortunate accident while climbing. This huge multi-pitch route is a tribute for Iman. I'm climbing this with Panchamaya and Rishi, who will lead the route for me. It will take hours for me to reach the top. I was more excited than I was nervous, thinking that I was finally gonna do it. Until I started.
All of us like. You can do it. You can do it, man. Come on, man. You're almost there. Nice, man. Come on, man. Come on, this is on that. Come on, put them on.
I had not even reached the first pitch, and this was already looking impossible to me.
No. This is easily one of the toughest things that I've ever done. God. No backing away, Abba. I know, Rishi. No backing away, right?
I was clinging on to whatever I could get hold of. Imanko Samjanama was a long, long climb. As I reached the second pitch, I was getting really comfortable and confident.
Final stage.
Every point of struggle, all the challenging holes, I enjoyed all of them. I kept speaking to myself, you can do it. I was taken back to the time when we were at school. That one day when we were taken to climb at Pasang Lamu. God, I was horrible that day. I always thought I'd never be able to climb any wall, let alone climbing a rock like this. But that was what I thought about many things in life as well. You're only as good as you think you are. And this climb, this was for that little kid who never believed in himself.
Wait, no, छोड़ो ना. Asa.
आफू त भन्ने ट्रिपमा वेट टाइम नहुन न
Rockstar भने कि rock star होला कि rock मा?
Rockstar.
Rockstar
And you are a porn star.
एबार
Yes. Yeah.